Huge warm welcome to 2023. I can't believe 2022 is actually done and finished. I hope you guys all had a wonderful Christmas or whatever you guys believe in and what sort of religion you guys are in. I hope you had a happy holiday and a happy new year. Anyway, that being said, guys, let's jump straight into today's video. Today's video is basically a lesson, or should I say 10 lessons based upon what I learned making 500K in a single year. So first and foremost, I want to break this video down because I think it's just insane how I was actually aiming. The funny thing is I actually aimed in January 2022 for 300K that particular year. I ended up finishing the year on 500K in revenue, between all of my businesses. I want to break down just the top 10 lessons I've learned from doing that. So first and foremost, lesson number one is you must absolutely build a strong team and have strong systems in place in order to create your own success. The reason why I say this, guys, is because there is no way in hell you're going to be able to make yourself go from 0 to like 500K in a single year all by yourself doing everything. You need to be able to outsource like menial tasks, set up proper systems, have proper automation in place because you are not Superman. You need to build the team of Avengers. You need to actually build a team of people around you. And most people that I see out there that are trying to start agencies or just start online consulting businesses, they don't really have a business. They have a 9-to-5 job disguised as a business. And I know I keep saying this on my actual channel, but you really must put systems in place in order to duplicate your time. There's no way in hell, for example, you're able to compete with somebody like me or somebody else. Let's say you're trying to compete with an agency owner. You're trying to go from 0 to 500K per year yourself. Well, you know you're going to need to do a lot of outreach in order to do that. A lot more outreach than you actually think. Now, if you're only able to crank out 20 outreach a day, 30 outreach a day, then obviously it's going to take you a long time to actually start landing clients. Let's say it takes you 2,000 emails to land one client. Well, if you're doing 20 outreach per day, that's 100. That's 100 days. It's literally going to take you to land one client. 20 times 100 is 2,000, which is obviously terrible, guys. But if you're sending, 500 emails a day and you keep the numbers stay the same, that means you're going to close a client every 4 days, or roughly, if the numbers stay the same. But the problem is, there is no way in hell that one person can do 500 outreach every single day by themselves, doing all the lead sourcing, prospecting, first line writing. There's just no way you can actually physically do that. So you need to build a team. Number two is that it's important for you to have a clear vision and plan for your business. The only times I've basically been stuck in business, and this is actually so true, guys, the only time I've ever been stuck in business, or when I feel stuck or stuck in the mud or just don't understand which way to go, is when I don't have a clear vision. So I actually recommend you sit there and just write down kind of like, I personally have like I call it the alchemy of self journal. I actually call it Kaizen of self these days, but long story short, it's basically a booklet. I actually took the concept from Sam Ovens and I've actually implemented it and changed it up. But long story short, it's basically a booklet based upon who Montel is, where I want to be in the future, where I've come from, the steps I've taken to get where I am right now, and what my future steps are, and what my actual 3-year plan is, my 5-year plan, and my 10-year plan is. 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. So I can see exactly step by step what I need to do. And the only times I've ever messed up in business and just felt stuck, or I've just been slow or just not growing, is when I've not read this book each and every day. So that's kind of like 2 points in one. There's two important points. Number one is to have clear like missions, vision, principles, kind of like a booklet that you actually create that shows you your 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, and 10-year plan. That's absolutely crucial. Then you need to document kind of like and track your journey, which is another point within itself, which I'll get to in a second in later in this video. And then the third thing is that you need to keep reading that particular journal over and over and over again every single day. From the moment you wake up, that's the first thing you should be reading before you even read a book, if you're into like reading books in the morning. So I do recommend creating a clear vision. I call it Kaizen of self. Kaizen is just continuously improving. That's basically what Kaizen means. Kaizen of self basically means like I'm continuously improving every day, just trying to get 1% better every day. And that's my booklet. And I read it every single day. When I stopped, I stopped for like maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months or whatever it was, stopped reading this book every day. And I noticed my life just goes to shit. So that's obviously keeping me on track. Third lesson I've learned is that marketing and sales are the key to driving revenue. You're not in the business of doing your thing, whatever your thing is, your offer. You're not in the business of doing that thing. You're in the business of selling that said thing. Let me explain what I mean by that. Let's say you're selling TikTok ads to e-commerce brand. That's very kind of like everybody understands this on this particular channel. You're not actually supposed to be the like number one TikTok ads marketer on the planet, because what that's going to end up doing is causing you to be the number one head honcho in your business, which in turn is going to make you basically like the head chef in your own business. And what I mean by that is you're not really going to create a business. You're going to create a 9-to-5 job disguised as a business, like I said in point number one. So you're in the business of selling TikTok ads though. So you're not in the business of trying to become like this amazing TikTok ads dude. And now I'm not saying that you don't need to learn your service or anything like that. It's just that I'm saying that you need to learn it enough that you can actually outsource it and teach somebody else. If you don't believe me, read the book The E-Myth, come back and just drop a like on this video because you know exactly what I'm talking about. So the point I'm trying to make here is, guys, is that you need to do lots of marketing, lots of sales, obviously. But I've also noticed that a lot of people think that just because you're good at Facebook ads, you'll get Facebook ad clients. That's just not how it works, guys. You actually need to be able to market yourself or market your agency or your business that's good at that said service. So you're not in the business of doing the service, you're in the business of selling that service. So that's point number 3. Point number 4 is consistency. Always and will ever beat doubt and fear. So I've noticed a lot of people that come into maybe like age transmutation or just message me on Instagram or drop comments underneath my actual YouTube videos. Comment below, it helps with the algorithm. But long story short, guys, a lot of people complain about they just don't know where to start. They're scared of this thing, that they don't know what to do, and they're not getting clients, blah, 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 blah. And it's all doubts, it's all fears, it's all in their head. And what I've noticed is that when people just shut up and just do, aka just do outreach, I've noticed that they always end up closing clients, bettering their life. And even if they move in the wrong direction, they end up changing and moving in the right direction. So it's actually better to just be consistent. Start now, start doing outreach now. And actually, if you are on the wrong path and you actually have picked the wrong niche, which technically doesn't actually exist, the right niche doesn't exist, so therefore the wrong niche doesn't exist. Eventually what's gonna happen is because you picked this thing and you don't like this niche, you'll realize that, oh crap, I picked the wrong niche. But that's not a loss. That's actually a lesson, because now you've actually got direction to go in, not that direction. You understand not to go in that direction, so now you go in this direction. If this one fails, you keep doing it over and over again. By the law of averages and just by the law of elimination, you will eventually find the right path to go down. That's literally why I'm here right now, and all the other entrepreneurs are, all the big dudes that you listen to are where they are as well. It's more about throwing shit at a wall, as they say, and wait until something sticks and you double down on the thing that sticks. I am not even joking. That's pretty much entrepreneurship 101. Now, number 5 is being adaptable and open to change, and how that can actually help your business and actually help it grow. So I've noticed that, back in was it November? Yeah, it was actually around November times. I noticed that a lot of people were struggling to start agencies. The whole agency game was kind of getting oversaturated a little bit. Not oversaturated, but I'm showing it was getting much more difficult. And I can only see that trend kind of like continuing unless we get some sort of new advertising platform, and then a lot of people are just going to flood to that. So a lot of people were just trying to offer Facebook ads to e-commerce brands, and I said, you know what? That's cool and all, but I'm actually switching over my business into more of a personal branding agency, a consulting agency business, whatever you want to call it. And the reason for that is because I'm learning how to adapt. I'm seeing the facts change, therefore I change my direction. That's what you guys need to be able to do. For example, like ChatGPT is actually coming out, and that's actually going to be changing and revolutionizing the way how we do pretty much everything, especially as it gets smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter. It's going to start replacing people's agencies, replacing people's jobs and stuff like that. But for now, it's actually a great tool that you can actually use. You need to be able to adapt to market trends. There's no point being a one-trick pony and you just stick to that one thing forever. That's kind of like what Blockbuster did. Blockbuster went completely, bust because they didn't want to adapt like Netflix did. So you need to be adaptable and you need to be open to change, because that can actually help your business successfully. Number 6 is creating content is more important than sales. I'm not even joking. You heard it here first, guys. Creating content, YouTube videos, is actually more important than doing sales. I am not even joking. Let me explain why. I've recently just had, I think it was 2 or 3 actual clients come to me for my personal branding services at my new consulting personal branding agency thing, whatever you want to call it, my new program, whatever you want to call it. And they've actually signed up for it, wired me over 3K each individually. Well, some did a split pay, but you get the point I'm trying to make. It will be over 3K once the payments actually come in, all without taking a single sales call with me. How is that possible? Well, the reason why it's possible is because they've probably been watching my YouTube channel. They've probably been on my social media accounts and just been following me for a long time over and over and over again. And as soon as I said that I'm releasing this new kind of like business model, thingy-majig, whatever you want to call it, they were like, yo, I'm in straight away. They literally just said, how can I join? Send me the invoice. I just said, all I need is your full name and your email address. Sent them over the invoice. I'm not even joking. It was paid right there and then without a single sales call. Never spoken to these people in my entire life. Ever. I'll probably make a video on this as well, because I know that this is very powerful, but I'll actually probably do like a whole breakdown on this, because it actually is very powerful. I'll show you like the message thread and stuff like that on Instagram, because I feel like that will be very beneficial to you guys, but that's for a later video and whatnot. But guys, like I'm saying, the reason why I say it's more important than sales as well is because take a look at something like Agency Transmutation, which is my online program, right? Now, If you want to sell your own online program, that's completely fine and whatnot. Just make sure it's obviously genuinely good and you genuinely know what you're talking about, because it's genuinely difficult to make a good online program these days without being called a scam and blah, 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 blah. Everybody, as soon as you create a program, everyone's calling you a scam. But if you take a look at the results, you see for yourself. But long story short, guys, take a look at something like Transmutation. I think the number was, I checked this in December, like really at the end of December, so don't quote me on this. I took a look in the back end of my actual ClickFunnels account, because that's where all my sales come from Transmutation. That's where the landing page is built, and that's where we take payments on there. So every single person that enrolled into Transmutation has to go through that particular thing, except for maybe like 2 or 3 people that want a quick call with me every like 6 months. I barely have any calls for Transmutation these days. But long story short, guys, that's where the payments come from. That's how people enroll into Transmutation. Now, I checked the actual statistic and it said 254K was made from Transmutation in a 12-month period. So from January to December, it was 254,000 US dollars was made. So I can basically make half my income, half the 500K, from an online program where I don't even have to jump on a single sales call. So my point is this, like, if sales calls are so important, how comes I'm not taking sales calls for Transmutation and still making 250K a year off an online program from a landing page? That's not me doing sales. That's a page I've built that does the sales for me. You know what I'm trying to say, guys? This stuff, honestly, if you guys can understand this, and this is why I'm now doing personal branding consulting, if I can teach this stuff to you guys, honestly, you guys' lives will change. It's literally the most nut stuff. Like, creating content is definitely more important than sales, in my opinion. Now, sales is obviously still important, by the way. That's the whole point of the point. That the whole point of that point there, and it sounds kind of weird, is that we all know that sales is super important. But then I've gone and figured out that, like, creating content is actually slightly more important than sales, because you can actually genuinely get people come to you, I mean, you know, over time and whatnot, and they'll actually book in a call, or they'll actually buy your program online if you've got like a genuinely good online program with good reputation. Now, number 7 is you want to do less. You actually want to do less. I see everybody running around like headless chickens trying to do 10 different things every single day. What you want to do is just break down your time and only stick to like 3 to 5 tasks that you need to complete that particular day. In fact, what I recommend you do is focus on the 20% of the things that bring you 80% of your revenue, aka I call these your income producing activities, your IPAs. Now, what I want you to do is time management and prioritization are essential for achieving goals, guys. I'm pretty sure you guys know that. And if you don't, and this is a lesson I really learned from like Transmutation, if you do not block off adequate amount of time to invest into something such as a task like building out slides for Transmutation, you're just never going to get them done. You need to honestly just go into your calendar and actually block off that time, delete social media, put your phone in like a lock, and dedicate that time to focusing on that one task. I know that it sounds like you're cutting off the world, which technically is actually what you want to do, and you want to just sit at your desk and get that work done. If you don't prioritize, you're just never going to get it done. It's one of those ones where it's like, I'm pretty sure you guys have been through this, where it's like you're saying in your head like, oh, I'll do it later, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I've just got in from work, I'll probably do it. It's better off if I do it tomorrow morning. What you need to do is in advance block off the calendar, sit down and actually have a dedicated time period when this particular task is going to be completed. If you do not do that, you will always find an excuse not to do that task. Very important stuff, guys. And again, focus on the 20% of the things that bring you 80% of the money. So if you're wondering what you should be doing in your agency and you're not closing enough clients, well, then you're not doing enough outreach. You're just not doing enough outreach. So instead of trying to create this fancy website and all this other stuff, go and do more outreach or create more content. Those are the only two most important things that you can probably do when you're running a consulting business or a coaching business or an agency. Doing lots of outreach and doing lots of content creation, because content is like genuinely the best thing you can probably be doing. Like, I'm literally going to make an entire video dedicated to creating content and why it's so important, and why it's the most important thing I'm going to be concentrating on in 2023. Now, number 8 is that it's important to stay organized and keep track of financial records, guys. This was something that I didn't really care about like previously. This is something, again, this is my lessons now, going from 0 to 500K in a single year. So previously we was doing decent numbers, 6 figures. I think we did we did over 6 figures last year. That was like 2020, 2021, and then from 2021 to 2022 we did 500K. So long story short, I wasn't really too bothered about financial record because I just wasn't big enough yet. Like, it was decent, like 100K is decent and over 100K is decent and stuff like that, but we weren't big enough for me to be worried about like tax structure and VAT structure and all this crazy stuff and all these different taxes, and it's crazy basically, guys. So I've actually just had a VAT bill from HMRC for 65,000 British pounds that I basically have to pay. well, technically it's an assessment. So actually it's going to be restructured and we're going to get it reassessed. But long story short, I just need to warn you guys that when you actually start getting to this level, you just be very careful of your tax structure and your financial records, and keep track of all of that. Again, when you're normally at like 0 to 100K, 0 to 200K, you probably won't need to worry too much about this just yet. I don't want to scare none of you guys, but yeah, I did get a 65,000 British pounds tax bill. No, it wasn't a tax bill, it was a VAT bill. VAT is, value added tax over here, which is 20%. Again, this is grossly inaccurate, but it just made me realize that, like, shit, if my business wasn't, if my customer, let me give you an example. Over here in the UK, we pay 20% VAT. Well, I don't pay 20% VAT. Your customers pay 20% VAT. So if somebody in the UK, so let's say I close a client for 2,000 British pounds, for example, that person will then have to pay 2,200 for my services, because I actually have to charge 20% on top of my fee. No, it's actually 2,400, excuse me. Yeah, 20%, excuse me. You guys can correct me in the comments. Yes, 2,400 that they have to pay in total, because that VAT is that £400. So you got 2,000 for my service fee, and then I have to charge 20% on top of that, or I have to pay the VAT myself. I'm not looking to pay VAT. Businesses don't normally pay VAT. It's basically just sales tax for you guys in America. But long story short, guys, what HMRC, they've not factored in that most of my clients, customers, whatever you want to call them, are actually based out of the UK. Like 99.9% of my customers, clients, are in like America, somewhere in Europe that's outside of the UK, somewhere in like Canada. I've got loads of clients and customers all over the world, basically. Most of them are outside of the UK, so obviously I won't be paying 65,000 British pounds for this, guys. I don't want to scare you guys, but I just thought I'd put this in there because it was like quite a shock when I saw 65K, being presented to me and saying I have to pay that, which is crazy. Again, it's grossly inaccurate, but it's just an assessment. We'll get it reassessed. Now, number 9 is a very, very simple concept, but it's actually easier to keep clients than it is to get new ones. So it's important that you focus on customer or client satisfaction and retention. There's no point trying to churn and burn clients. You just don't churn and burn clients, guys. You need to be able to hold and retain your clients for months on end. If you can do that, honestly, getting to 10K, 20K, 30K, 50K, 100K per month is actually so much easier than having to, continuously get clients coming in your door. You do this by obviously, genuinely building a great service. A lot of people, just think about trying to get clients in all the time, but they don't really focus that much on service delivery. So focus on your service delivery, hire the best team possible. You might even need to start charging more as well. If you charge, this is one of the things I probably should have put in there. Charging more allows for more flexibility. If you charge more to your client, you can actually then use that to hire better professionals, better team, better structures, and put better systems in place. In turn, you're going to get better clients and have an overall better business, because you're going to be able to retain clients for longer, and you're going to get them better results, which is a win-win situation right there. It's a double win. And the 10th lesson I've learned, guys, is that the more replicable and repeatable your services are, the better it will be for you, especially when it comes to your time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. Now, I highly recommend, productizing your services once you've mastered them to actually gain freedom. And here's what I mean by that. A lot of people start in the done for you business model. Done for you is basically, we do your Facebook ads for you. Then eventually what I recommend you do is put in a proper system in place where you can actually step away from that. So you've got media buyers, a proper service delivery kind of like team, and you're managing that team. You don't want to be the dude that's doing the Facebook ads, is what I'm trying to say. Because what's going to happen is you're just going to end up creating what you call golden handcuffs. Golden handcuffs is like, let's say you're the only guy that's doing Facebook ads right now in your agency. Well, if I was to give you 10 clients right now, you probably won't even be able to handle them. Your finances might go up. That might add on an extra 20, 30K to your business per month, right? But your time's gone down because you now have to service each one of those 10 clients by yourself. So there's no point even starting that. I personally, would rather make 100K a year and only need to work 5 hours a week than make $1 million a year and have to work 16 hours a day, every single day, 7 days a week. I'm personally, if I really realign myself and just look back on why I actually why I even decided to become an entrepreneur in the first place, it was not even because of the money. It's genuinely because of the impact and the freedom I want to create. Impact and freedom. And I would rather, like I said, make 100K a year, but only need to work 5 hours a week, than make $1 million a year net profit and having to work 16 hours every single day. That doesn't sound like financial freedom. That doesn't sound like freedom to me. It's why, like football, I genuinely think that entrepreneurship is the best thing you can ever do on this planet ever. Think about it, even footballers, like even professional football players. I know that they're actually looked upon over here in the UK, but footballers making like, I don't know, even if they're making a friggin' million a month, guys, which is obviously insane, they're still a very high paid employee. I mean, they're a celebrity employee, but they're still an employee. Let me give you an example. I personally right now am more freer than the top footballer in the entire world. I'm not even joking. Take the top footballer like Lionel Messi, for example, or Cristiano Ronaldo. I bet you any money I can go and live in Dubai for a longer period than they can during their season. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, they cannot go and live in Dubai and just sit there on a beach all day, every day, forever. I technically can, and I can actually still work there and actually still make money there. They need to fly out, they need to train, they need to actually compete in competitions, in games. They're free. Don't get me wrong, these guys are free, and when they retire, they're gonna be good for generations to come and whatnot, which is cool, which is genuinely cool. But right now, in this moment in time, like, not even the top footballers are as free as me. Like, quite literally, it sounds even crazy even saying that on camera. But as you can see, guys, the more replicable and repeatable your services are, the better it will be for your business. AKA, start moving from done for you to done with you to do it yourself. It's especially if you're an online consultant or online coach. If you've got like a one-to-one program, move that into group coaching. If you got group coaching, move that into like, maybe it's time to start thinking about creating an online product around what you've just done. Because now what you can do, it's the same training that you're giving people. It's just that you're you're delivering it in an electronical way. Still have your Q&A sessions and whatnot, but put your actual training inside of a do it yourself online program. Now what you can do is you can actually serve more customers at a high level, at a mass scale, without putting much time into that, which in turn will increase your freedom and it will actually increase your impact that you make on this world. And again, like I said, for me, when I started entrepreneurship, I want freedom and the impact. And bonus point is to put your ego aside. Put your ego aside, and the best thing you can do is reinvest in yourself. Now, this is actually a point to me. I'm actually making this point to me, but I'm actually saying it on camera. Me, I don't know what it is with me, but I don't think I have an ego. It's just that I would really like to start, well, this year, I'm actually making it a thing that I'm actually going to be spending multiple 5 figures into my own education, mentors, learning. Because if I knew it all, I'd already be at 10 million right now. I'm not at 10 million, I'm only at 500K. I know I say only, but there's levels to this shit, as they say. You know, it's all perspective. So I'm actually going to be seeking advice and guidance from experienced entrepreneurs that are way ahead of me. If I'm making 500K a year, I want to be working with people that are making 500K a month, 500K friggin' every 2 weeks, 500K a week. Those are the sort of people I want to be investing in and learning from. It's going to cost a lot of money, I know, but it's always going to be worth it, because investing in yourself is always the best thing you can invest in. And again, Montel Gordon, please put your ego aside, go and invest in yourself. You don't know it all, you don't have all the answers. You can go on the internet if you want and try find it all, but again, that's only just going to cost you time. And right now, I don't have that much time. Nobody has that much time. You have less time than you think, unfortunately. We're all going to die one day. We can't get time back. So I'm just going to take my money that I've got, put it into my own education, and just literally boost and accelerate my growth. That's my actual bonus point, and that's honestly just to me, guys. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit long, but I just want to put down my actual top 10 lessons I've learned from making 500K in a single year from 2022 to 2023. What an absolute amazing year it's been. Love you guys. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you stick around on this YouTube channel, because we're going to be dropping a lot of content. A lot of valuable stuff is coming to this channel right here. I am so friggin' pumped. Hope you guys have a blessed 2023, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Peace.